comparable sound of the Mustang with the Rolls-Royce Merlin engine, and you can hear it to your left now. There's no other sound like it in the world. The airplane that literally won the war for us in Europe. Chris Baranaskas at the controls. And the mighty sound of the Jug, the P-47 Thunderbolt. And the Yak-9, a 12-cylinder Allison engine, straight from the Reno Air Races. They're going to join up and come back and do some formation flying. Then you're going to see a solo flight by that Yak-9 flown by Carroll of Ocean City, Maryland. From combat, shot full of holes, their wings and control surfaces in tatters. Listen to the sound now of the P-47 Thunderbolt. 15,650 of them were built. Dan Dameo at the controls. 2,500 horsepower out in front of that cockpit. And here's the Mustang. It is an unusual sound, but like I said, there's no mistaking the P-51D Mustang. And here comes the Yak-9, Carroll. The Mustang, 1,510 horsepower out in front, swinging that big four-bladed propeller. Mustangs were flown by 11 Allied Air Forces in addition to the U.S. Army Air Corps. 15,886 of the P-51 Mustangs were made. Real protection to the Allied bombers, which had previously suffered horrendous losses. But the P-51 was the aircraft that really made it possible to bomb all the way into, even down into Germany itself. Listen to the sound of the Thunderbolt and the P-51 Mustang in formation from the right. Once the P-51D had the drop tanks developed, then they could escort the bombers of the 8th Air Force all the way into enemy territory. Prior to that, they were unable to escort them, and the 8th Air Force suffered horrible losses. As a matter of fact, in the B-17s, 30,000 were killed. Right down on the deck is the Yak-9. In that Reno racer flown by Carroll. But once drop tanks were manufactured for the P-51D, then the 8th Air Force pilots were so glad to see the P-51 Mustang escort them all the way into enemy territory. 1,000 railroad locomotives and about 6,000 armored vehicles and tanks. Only 0.7% of the fighters of this type dispatched against the enemy were lost in combat. Once again in formation from your right, the P-47, nicknamed the Jug. and the P-51 Mustang. The 47 tactical fighter bomber, long-range escort, train buster. With a fully loaded weight of 20,700 pounds, the latest model of the P-47 you see off to the left out there was heavier than a fully loaded German Dornier Do-17 bomber. Several captured P-47s were test flown by Luftwaffe pilots of the German Air Force because they knew that it was really the rugged aircraft and they wanted to know more about it. On one occasion in the war, here comes the Mustang. Listen to the sound of this Rolls-Royce Merlin engine. You see the air scoop on the bottom of the aircraft? I'll tell you about that in just a second. Here's the Thunderbolt. That air scoop takes in air at an oil cooler for underneath the fuselage of the aircraft. The designers were concerned that that might cost them some efficiency and speed, but much to their surprise, after the aircraft started flying, they found out that it actually increased the speed. It gave it a little bit of thrust. Told you how rugged the Thunderbolt was. On one occasion, a Thunderbolt pilot hit a steel post after strafing a train over occupied France. The collision sliced off about 4 feet of one of the wings, but he brought it home safely. Get your cameras ready. Over your right shoulder now comes for a photo pass. First, the P-51 Mustang, and then the Thunderbolt. Top platform view. Here's the Thunderbolt now, putting that left wing down towards the earth to give you the top platform view of the mighty Thunderbolt.